It was April 16th, almost midnight, and I just found out I had $3,000 due in just 3 days. I was instantly gutted. Although I know I'd have to pay something, this was about 10 times what I'd expected to have to pay in taxes. What was I gonna do now? To understand the answer to that question, we have to understand how I got into this situation in the first place.
You done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
Now, have you ever been doing deliveries, done a big order, and you're like, oh man, I gotta be a good dollars per mile right now. Then you open your mileage tracking app just to find out that you never turned it on in the first place? Well, I found a way to never have to worry about that again with an app that does automatic mileage tracking, as well as a ton of other features. So in this video, I'm going to show this app to you. I'm going to show you the features that I use the most. I'm going to show you how it can help you make more money, save more money, and potentially a lot of heartache when it comes to tax season. So what is this app and why does it work so well? Well, one of the things that makes this app work better than its competitors is that once you link your Walmart Spark or whatever other gig app to it, it automatically tracks your mileage based on the times that it's tracking your earnings, the time you're starting and finishing orders, and it links up all of that mileage to those earnings accordingly. Now, of course, you can still manually track and manually add trips if you like. Like for example, I know that I've done trips and realized I didn't have that app linked up, but for the apps that are linked, you never have to worry about turning on a mileage tracker again. It's like going from a car with no AC to a car that automatically keeps the cabin temperature below 75 degrees when you're inside the grocery store, no matter how hot it is outside in the Arizona sun. I know, oddly specific, but a game changer nonetheless. So the app that does all this and more is the Solo app, the sponsor of today's video. Stay tuned to the end of the video for a special offer from Solo.
What do you mean by that?
So back to my taxes. Although I owed a large sum of money, I did have some mileage tracked, and then I also had a lot of screenshots with mileage and other things that I had tracked just because I create content. I also knew that I had some work done on my car throughout the year, so I had some possible deductions there. And I did have money saved and set aside for tax season. But this was my first year as a full-time gig worker, and I was now immediately concerned that I had saved the wrong amount. I was deeply questioning what my original projections were based on.
I see what I'm saying. I thought. So, you know what I'm saying? That you done fucked up.
So this leads me to another feature of the Solo app that I really like, especially considering the situation that I was in, is that in addition to tracking your mileage and linking your earnings, it gives you tax estimates based on your tracked earnings, mileage, expenses, etc. And they also have some tools that can help you file your taxes when it comes to that time of the year. But when I was in my situation, I didn't have this. I just had to do a bunch of homework, a bunch of manual spreadsheets. It was a solid 48 hours of not loving my life.
Without the tape, they had nothing.
Now, just a disclaimer in case I fooled you into thinking I'm an accountant or a tax professional. Surprise, I'm not. I'm not a professional advisor or anything professional to do with money. So this is not tax advice, this is not financial advice, etc., etc. But Solo can provide you with additional financial insights that'll help you make more money. It can tell you about what other drivers in your market are making, what the hourly averages are on your market, what apps the other drivers are using, especially if they're drivers that are earning more than you. And by the way, I have to say, when it comes to looking at other people's earnings, comparison is a thief of all joy. So use it, but don't abuse it, because in the end, you're really just abusing yourself. But like I said, it does give you insight to like what apps those other drivers are using. Like for example, I've seen what some other high earning drivers in my market are using. And surprisingly, a lot of them are using Lyft more than you would think, at least more than I would think. Now, of course, being the investigative nerd that I am, and I swear that like in another lifetime, I probably would have been a journalist.
The lie detective determined that was a...
But in general, anything that involves data, I like playing with that. And with all the different data points Solo has access to, one of the data points I like to use the most is the smart schedule function. It basically helps you maximize how much you earn on the app at any time by telling you what the highest earning apps are during those hours in your area. Especially if you're a solo apper and you're not into, juggling all the different things. Now, if you're a part-timer who's not necessarily interested in maxing out how much you make every week and just really focused on making sure you meet your goals in the minimum amount of time possible, then then Solo may be able to help you with the minimum pay guarantee function. The minimum pay guarantee can at least ensure you make a minimum amount per hour during the slow times, as long as you're consistently delivering somewhat, especially with how slow it can get in the afternoons doing Spark. As long as I'm at least able to deliver one curbside pickup or shop I'm delivered during those hours, I am going to get that minimum pay guarantee. If I earn less than that, I get the minimum pay. If I earn more than that, then I get what I earn. And of course, for tracking and validation, Solo can wrap this up and has this included in the app, showing, you know, the amount of hours you guaranteed, the amounts you've earned, etc. So it allows you to keep a tab on that information and a ton of other useful data as well. Ultimately, with the total suite of the Solo app's features, gig workers earn 40% more on average when using Solo. So a big thanks to Solo for sponsoring this video once again. Download Solo using my link in the pinned comment section below. And FYI, Solo is a subscription-based service, so be sure that once you download the app, look into the different tiers of the subscription plans and see what works for you based on how many hours you work and all the features you need, etc. If you sign up for a subscription plan using my link in the comment section below, you'll get $10 back from Solo, essentially reducing the cost of the first month of your subscription while you figure out how to use Solo best for you. But FYI, it may be a tax deductible expense also, so be sure to check the laws in your state.
Shut up and take my money!